Yeah, it's been a minute. About 2 weeks to be exact. Well, you know, I mean, in my defense, which, you know, it was the holidays, man. And no, I'm gonna lose my book bag. I've been on nights a lot, and I don't like it. For one, I don't know. I'd rather work in the mornings. For two, it's hard to make videos at nighttime, man. You gotta get a phone that does like a double negative, or like something else or something to do this with, and then that way I can see what's recording in black and white or something, or night vision. That'd be sweet, right? Come on. Well, yeah, I got shit to do today, so I might as well, you know? Anyway, I had an eventful Christmas. I hope you guys all had a good Christmas and a good New Year's. We didn't do shit for New Year's, right? Because, I mean, we never did. I didn't even watch the ball drop. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. And I, like, looked over. I was like, oh, shit, it's like 12:03. I wonder why people were, like, letting off fireworks outside. I thought they were a little early. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But, yeah, you know, I hope everybody had a good, safe holiday season. Like, let's see here. I would say around the 20th, 19th or 20th, my dryer blew up. No dryer, right? And, so you gotta buy a new dryer right before Christmas. That's, you know, $500 or so. And thank God for family, because they helped out a little, you know. Family members took care of some shit. Some shit happened, and I got me a brand new dryer that matches my brand new washer I got like 2 years ago. It's amazing. It's great. So, Christmas Eve morning, about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, the old lady wakes me up. She says, do you hear that? What's that noise? Something doesn't sound right. It's water. The bottom of my hot water tank was just pouring water out of it. There was water, like, coming out the exhaust part on the top. It's a gas hot water tank. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, right? Like, this is what we need on Christmas Eve. Well, my little cousin, that's what he does for a living. He's a plumber. He does shit like this, you know? So I text him like 6:30 in the morning on Christmas Eve. I'm like, hey, you wouldn't happen to be up right now, would you? I don't hear back from him. I go lay down, I fall asleep. You know, I turn the water off the water tank, turn off the gas, I go to sleep. I wake up like 9:30, 10 o'clock, look at my phone. He texted me back about 45 minutes after I texted him. So I call him, like, what's up, man? And he happens to be right around the corner at his brother's house. It was right by me. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what's up? So I tell him, you know, my hot water tank, fucking water everywhere. It sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's Christmas Eve. And he's like, oh, man, you need me to come over and fix it? And I was like, no. I just want to know if you know, because you do this, if you can get a cheaper tank. Like, do you get a discount or something? Do you know where to go where they're on sale? Like, do you got some inside info to save on my pocket, right? He does not. But he says, well, I'm around the corner. I'm gonna come over and check it out anyway. Maybe it's something I can fix. He said, no, I can't fix that. Like, you need new hot water. He gets on the phone, finds me a hot water tank at Home Depot, leaves my house, goes to his house, empties the bed of his truck, gets his pickup truck, grabs all his tools, meets me at Home Depot. I buy the hot water tank and all the pieces he says he needs. It's like $700. I don't want to spend $700 on Christmas Eve, but I don't have a fucking option, right? Go back to my house. We fixed the floor because the floor was damaged so bad it was sagging, right? Fixed the floor, installed a new hot water tank, good as new, in like 3 hours, in and out. Again, family bails me out, right? That's what family's for. That's what family and good friends are for. I didn't ask him to do that. I didn't want him to come and do all that work. I'm so grateful he did because I don't do that shit every day. And if I would have done that, the floor would have got fixed quick, but it would have took me a while to figure out the hot water tank problem. Like, it wouldn't have been gone as smooth as it did because I don't do that shit every day. So I gotta, like, problem solve as I'm going, you know? How am I gonna get this gas line out of this hole and blah, blah, blah. He's like, fuck, man, disconnect that shit from outside. I got pipe dope, blah, blah, blah. He's gone, running around. He's a little guy with a long beard down to his fucking belly button. He's just family, right? Christmas Eve when he had shit to do, and he's got a kid of his own, like, at my house, like that, fucking doing a job he could have made, you know, he could have charged probably over $1,000 for in labor, close to it. Charged me a Monster Energy drink. You know, but he knows if he's ever in a spot, I'm there for him too, because that's how shit works. But anyway, enough of my problems. Thank God for family. What did I really want to talk about? Sports. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, and let me tell you, one more thing before I get into what I really want to talk about. Somebody said something like, I should talk about mental health. You see all that shit I just went through? There's a lot of people that would crumble going through that shit. Even my old lady was starting to freak out a little bit, right? Like, I look at stuff like that happens, and, you know, we had help because sometimes you need help, right? Same thing with your mind. Sometimes you need help. You got to talk to somebody, even just talking to a friend. You don't necessarily got to go talk to a therapist, psychiatrist, or whatever. Just get that shit out sometimes, and it helps. But anyway, I look at it, it's life, man. Like, she was like, oh my God, everything's going so wrong right now, right before Christmas. This is broken, that's broken. It's just life. It's just life. Shit happens. So I fixed it. We got help. We got it fixed. We got a new dryer, new hot water tank. Everything's good. Until the next thing shows up. But that's life. You know? Shit happens. And you deal with what's in front of you. You get that fixed. And then you move on and wait for the next problem. But one day I'll do like a real, maybe the next video, I'll do like a real mental health thing. You might not like what I got to say about it, really. But maybe you will. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe you'll agree with me. Maybe you won't. But that's just what we do here. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do here. Anyway, so, the Browns are in the playoffs, baby. 5th seed. Like, who would have thought? You lose Nick Chubb fucking week 2. Like, oh, man. And then you end up with 4 different starting quarterbacks. After this weekend, it'll be 5 because they got some other guy starting, Jeff Driscoll, right? That guy hasn't been around forever and a day. What else is going on? Oh yeah, so then the XFL and the USFL are now merged, right? The spring football leagues. And now they're called the UFL, the United Football League, right? The XFL pretty much absorbed the USFL or whatever. You know, I'm glad this happened, honestly. I really am. And let me tell you why. If you watched any of that spring football, right? The XFL was good. It was good. The games were pretty competitive most of the time, right? They had fans in the stands, especially if they're in like St. Louis and DC, like, and it makes the games a little more exciting when people are like they're cheering for their home team, right? The rules were a little different. Like, I like the rule changes. I like the way they did things, like with the kickoffs. I like the way they did things with like the PATs and shit. It was great, right? It was cool. Like little behind the scenes shit, like that was cool. The mic'd up stuff, that was all cool. Like, it was cool, right? The USFL did a little bit of that. Let me tell you where they really went fucking wrong, okay? Year one was understandable because we were in COVID year, so they stayed in like Birmingham, Alabama, in like a hub city, right? All the games were played at the exact same place. There was some people there, not a whole lot, but every single game was played in the exact same spot. Then, year two rolls around. Well, the XFL, they practice at a hub, I want to say in like San Antonio or something, but every team went to the city they represented when they played their home games, right? St. Louis went to St. Louis. DC went to DC. You know what I mean? Austin played in Austin. Fucking San Antonio played in San Antonio. They played in the city that they represented. That's where they went and played, okay? When the USFL comes back for year two, what did they do? They didn't play in the cities they've represented. They had like hub cities spread out, right? Where I live in Ohio, we had no USFL team. We have no XFL team. But oh man, I don't remember if it was the Michigan Panthers or the New Jersey Generals, right? It was one of those two teams. But definitely the Pittsburgh Maulers, right? With Steeler colors, their hub city where they played all their home games was in Akron, Ohio, at Tom Benson Hall Stadium, at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's where they played their games. Nobody, you could have showed up and bought a front row ticket for $10 2 minutes before the game started, and like they were general admission tickets anyway, for $10, $15, and sit wherever the fuck you wanted, because there was nobody there. All the games were like that. The rules were so close to the NFL. It was basically NFL played with players that didn't get drafted and players that didn't end up in the XFL because their seasons overlapped, right? So then you got like a drowning of talent. Yeah, the games were good, but how do you make money that way, right? How do you make money when you're not selling any tickets? And I forget the 3 or 4 hub cities that they had, but really none of the teams represented the cities they played in. Like, how does that work? How do you build a fan base and get people to spend money on merchandise and ticket sales if you're not in the city you represent? That's where the XFL got it right, I'm telling you. Plus the games were better and the rules were better, and I hope they keep the XFL rules, right? What they've done is they took like 5 XFL teams actually and 3 of the USFL teams, and they made 2 leagues, like the XFL league or conference and the USFL conference, right? Kind of like when the NFL and the AFL, or the NFL and the AFL converged to create the NFL. And then you got the NFC and the AFC. It's almost the same thing, you know what I mean? No, it pretty much is the same thing. But they got rid of 5 of the USFL teams. So, you know, but like I said, I can't wait. It starts in like March. I think like a week or two after the Super Bowl's over. Might be good, man. I just love sports. I don't care. Football? Shit, let's watch it. You watch those college games this weekend? Oh my god, that Michigan game? That was a good fucking game. Right down to the wire. Michigan pulls it off in overtime. I fucking hate Michigan. Oh, man. Can't wait. I mean, this weekend, there's a bunch of football games in the NFL that matter. Like, you need to win to be into the playoffs. If you lose, whatever this team wins, you know, they're in and you're out. And there's a lot of that going on. But then there's a lot of, like, we don't need to play our starters because we're locked in. Like the Browns, the Ravens, you know, I think the Bills. Like, there's teams that are locked into their spot. And there's no reason for them to play their starters, right? You know what that does for guys like me? Fucks up my fantasy team. Fucks it all up. I'm starting guys that score 4 points a game, but maybe they'll go off because, you know, the starters are sitting. So maybe Michael Gallup will have a good game. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, that's enough for me. If this video has been long enough, I'll be back soon. I will do a video about mental health. I'm telling you, I'll do it. You might not like what I gotta say, but I'll do it. You know, I'm an old school kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy, like, you know, chicks dig scars, shit that happens to you builds character, you know, shit like that, right? Like, this too shall pass. You know, I grew up on that shit. This too shall pass. That was my aunt's favorite thing. I'd go to her with some issues, like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. She'd be like, buddy, this too shall pass. It'll be okay. Just let it ride. Yeah, you guys be safe, be careful. I'll be back soon. I appreciate every single one of you for being here and watching. Every subscriber, every view I get, I appreciate it. You have no idea. I love the comments. Even the ones that think I'm a homo or whatever. I forget what that guy said. It was weird. Alright. I'll be back soon.